Welcome to AdVice. Today, I'm joined by Christian Groh, Director of Content, and Sheelah Smith, Director of Accounts. I'm your host, Josh Mangum. Christian, I hear you've got some questions for me.
Yes, today we are putting you in the hot seat, and I researched the top 5 marketing hurdles for small businesses, and want to just throw them at you.
Let's go.
So we're going to start with number 1, the death of traditional SEO.
That's so dramatic, like the death. I've been hearing it for like 20 years, the death of SEO. It's not dying. It did take a huge blow this year from AI, so things are a little different. GEO, AIO, like all the different acronyms, it just means that AI is becoming part of the mix. So where small businesses used to be able to focus just on Google, honestly, if they just got Google right, they were fine. Now they need to be cognizant of the landscape. And the landscape includes Claude and ChatGPT, and every platform has got AI attached to it now. And sometimes it's run, in the background by ChatGPT or something else, but that's part of the mix. So instead of just kind of spamming your way to the top of Google like businesses used to do, now you got to do the work. Now you got to mark up do your markups on your website. You've got to make sure that you articulate your products and services and the differentiators about your services, and put that on your website, put that on your Google business profile, and make sure that that information is out there, that it's consistent. Just more work for small businesses, but it's not like it's, Google doesn't exist anymore, especially for service-based businesses. It's still king.
Do you feel like SEO is changing dramatically?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changing. The function of SEO is not, right? When people need a contractor or a garage door company or a roofer, they're still going and doing a Google search a lot of times on their cell phone. It's just that now they also, if they're earlier in the discovery process, they might be doing the searches on ChatGPT. Should I replace my roof, or should I repair my roof? What type of garage door should I be getting? What should I pay for a bathroom remodel? So in that information seeking stage, you're going to see a lot more search, or a lot more of that search happening on AI-driven platforms. But then ultimately, when they're deciding whether or not they, to hire a contractor, they're still going out to Google.
Yeah, the avenue by which you get there is what's really changing, right? SEO not specifically, but it used to be like volume, blog, and now it's more about exactly what you put into it.
Yeah, doing things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, digital fatigue and the authenticity gap.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. Like we're on our phones, we're on social media all day long. We're absorbing, I think, 100 times more content in a given week than 10 years ago. So yeah, everybody's just tired of seeing all the ads and hearing all the claims and seeing the explainer videos. I mean, you're bombarded with information every day. So speaking to that, and then the authenticity gap, well, we can come back to that. On the fatigue side, you've got to stand out, and you've got to be conscious of how often you're posting. And are you posting the same content every day? Like we did a podcast about AI and what to expect every single day. People would stop.
Yeah.
It becomes static. People would stop caring.
Do you feel like small businesses are having a hard time standing out with digital fatigue?
Yeah. I mean, I see ads for doors and window guys from Pennsylvania right now. I don't know why I'm seeing on TikTok that this guy replaced a door, but it's like a, time-lapse video, and he's sitting there working, and it's interesting for a second. I'm ultimately never going to patronize his business in all likelihood, but I mean, I'm seeing stuff like that all the time. And so the local expert that doesn't have the good content on TikTok isn't being seen. I'm seeing it all the time, so I'm more educated than I used to be on just about every single service out there. I mean, I know way too much about the ads about how they raise your driveway concrete so that the cracks.
With the foam.
Yeah, I see it like every day. So I know what that is. I didn't used to. But I mean, I get tired of seeing the same stuff over and over again. So if the local expert finally puts together some good content, but it's the same thing that I've seen 100 times, I'm instantly and immediately, like when I first see their ad, I'm already kind of like, yeah, I've seen that. So if I'm not really in the market for that service right then that second, I'm scrolling past. So I think that's where the fatigue comes into play. Yeah. What about the authenticity gap?
Yeah.
I'm talking too much. You answer that one.
Well, I think, flooding the internet with just anything, right? Like we talk a lot, for example, about social media posting, and I know this is a little bit adjacent to what they're talking about, but like we talk to our clients about, you shouldn't just post something for the sake of posting it, right? Because it loses that level of meaning and authenticity. And if it's just anything that's out there, it's not coming from a person that doesn't have that value, then it can really degrade what it is that you're trying to say and who you are, and like you had mentioned, even just interest in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're flooding social media with irrelevant content, and that could lead to fatigue.
Yeah. And then on the authenticity side specifically, like I think anybody can get out and say anything they want to.
Yeah.
And I think that anybody can get with one of these AI, design platforms and design an ad and basically make any claim that they want. And so that adds to the fatigue, because it's like, is this real? Is this AI content? Right? Like you just get tired of seeing it. And I think that all feeds into the fatigue factor. So be genuine, be real, come from a place of actual experience, and then find a way to break through the static and be different. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the clock versus consistency paradox.
See, that's what you were just talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I skipped ahead just a little bit.
And this is that, I'll be talking to a new prospective client, and they'll ask me, like, well, how many times a week am I posting on Facebook? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 6 times a month or 8 times a month or once a week or twice a week. It matters that it makes sense for you, but also you can keep up with the content. So don't create a plan around, well, I've read ChatGPT says it's great to post 3 times a week on Facebook. It doesn't matter. If you're just posting for the sake of posting and it's drab content, it kind of goes back against what we just talked about. So, I mean, my advice would just be consistent, but at a frequency that you can sustain. If that's once a month, fine. If that's twice a month, a little bit better. Once a week, great. But if you can't do it once a week, don't commit to once a week, and don't just post because it's Tuesday.
Yeah, make sure it's value added.
Make it authentic.
Yeah. I don't know how many people thought that I needed their business to wish me a Happy New Year. But, 40 of those posts later, I'm just scrolling. I'm like,
Yeah.
But I think that's the misconception, is the business owners feel like I have to post X number of times. And it's not really about how many times. It's about, are you consistently posting content? Because, if you go 5 weeks and don't post anything, that is going to be detrimental. Arguably as detrimental as if I posted 5 awful posts this month.
If there's no engagement, then it can be just as detrimental.
Yeah, and we're seeing that across like a lot of different areas. In the SEO world, we talk about backlinks, and then Google essentially came out and said, well, it doesn't matter how many links, it's how many quality links, meaning how many links that drive traffic, relevant traffic to your website from those links. Those are the ones that count. It's the same thing with your social post. If nobody sees it, nobody comments, nobody likes it or does anything with it, then you could post every day and it would not help your business.
All right, navigating the search everywhere era.
I don't know what that means. Just you can search everywhere.
I imagine it means that there are a lot of different avenues to search for what users are looking for, right? So maybe they go to TikTok, maybe it's Google, maybe it's social media. So
I'm blown away at the amount of people that actually search for businesses on social media. I've never fully I understand that is happening. I just don't understand why. But especially the younger generations, people in their 20s and 30s, early 30s, are more likely to just search on Instagram for a roofer then I mean, my age group, I don't think we ever search on social media unless it's like consumer product goods.
I was about to say, I have a confession. I do like to search on TikTok, and often that's because I don't want to go to a website. I want to see user-generated content for what it is that I'm looking for, right? Like if usually it's an article of clothing, is what I go there for. But I want to see testimonial video. I can see it, I can hear about it, and it's short and concise.
Right. And that makes sense to me, but like...
Yeah. Roofer I would not look for on TikTok or Instagram.
Like our legal clients get some traffic from TikTok, and not necessarily because it's their content that they're posting all the time. Like there's some TikTok famous lawyers out there, that kind of catchy and stuff and interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Not these guys that I'm talking about. That's not what they do. And they're still getting traffic from TikTok. So that means people are searching for criminal defense attorneys in Richmond, Virginia on TikTok. And I would never think to do that. But yeah, that, ChatGPT, all the AI stuff, and then Google, Bing, it's just more complex. But what's reassuring for me is that if you set your website up, and if you do the things I talked about earlier, you mark up your, the back end of your website, and you list out your products and services, you list out the service value add, you list out the materials that you use and the certifications that you have. All of that, if you do the right things, is going to help everywhere. Maybe more so on ChatGPT than social media, but if you're posting about those products and services on Instagram, then that should help your Instagram search visibility.
Cool. All right, moving on to number 5, measuring real ROI in a privacy-first world. I
mean, I'm in advertising, but I'm also big on privacy. I like the changes. Well, I'm going to get butchered online for saying this, but I like the changes that were made in 2017 and 2020. And I mean, it was getting really spooky what data was being shared, especially with what was that, iOS and Facebook. I mean, it was getting really creepy. And I do think that there should be anonymized data that us advertisers can look at, but then we can't just pinpoint 33-year-old women with 2 kids ages between 12 and 14 and have a propensity to watch The Big C on Netflix. If you get that specific, that's intrusive and wrong. But I do believe if you have big enough cohorts of data that you can still target appropriately, and then the data can still come in, but you're not going to get the data on Susie Smith, no relation to Sheila, but you're going to get the data on females of a certain age bracket in the Southeast U.S. tend to like this ad over this ad. And that's the line. And so you still have that. So even in the age of privacy and consent boxes and everything, you can still get that data if your analytics are set up right and if you do go through the proper channels to be compliant.
Yeah. It says here that the hurdle is many small businesses are spending money on ads or social media but can't prove what is actually working.
That's just because they're not setting it up right. If you are running ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, Bing, Amazon, LinkedIn, I don't care, you should know to a reasonable, granularity what the efficacy of each one of your ads is, what you're spending and what you're making off of that. And that's why it's important to hook up your ads with your CRM. Even if you don't have one, you should be able to run a report on those demographics, but broad. You can't get so specific that the data isn't anonymous. And that's where GA4 cuts you off whenever you get to a point where there's not an adequate sample size for you to say you can't determine who that person was based on all these factors, right? So I think it's small, it's buckets of hundreds or maybe thousands of people fit that criteria, then you can get the data on it. But you should also have all the data flowing through on each individual conversion, whether that's a e-commerce purchase or a business-to-business lead through a website or phone call. You should, on that conversion, you should have all that data. So if you don't, again, you're not set up properly in the first place.
Yeah, and some of that's even like you were talking about the intake. If the issue is, hey, we don't know if this is working, then you need to have more conversations with those leads coming through. Like, figure out, did you, and I mean, we've all seen those surveys even. You can get as old school and basic as you want to figure out if what you're doing is working and where these people are learning about you, who's calling, those kind of things.
Yeah, that's like a forgotten art. Like in this age with all the AI and all the, the reporting and data that we have, like people forgot just to do a straw poll, ask around, use some common sense.
Yeah.
Like, that there's certain ads that men are going to like more, women are going to like more, younger people are going to like more.
Right.
Yeah.
You should know, and then you can still test and see what the results are and kind of know.
Yeah, and get the shovel to figure out which one is, what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
You might have to put a little bit of the extra work in for it, but
Lookup tables. That's what it's all about.
yeah.
For the tech nerds. And then for everybody else, common sense. Like just, you spend some money on the ads, don't wait 3 months.
Yeah.
After a couple of weeks, look at the ads, see what's performing. Make some observations and inferences based on the performance, and then reward the campaigns and the ad groups and the creative that's doing well. And conversely, cut the dead weight.
Yeah.
Then you have the information that you need. You just might have to dig it out a little bit.
Yeah, investigate it. I mean, and if you're investing money into ads, then you should want to do that, figure out what's working, what's not.
Yeah. Does that answer your questions?
Yes, that's all of our questions.
All right.
Thank you.
Quick and painless.
You sweating yet?
We got to get some
I
better
am.
questions or some tougher questions in here if you want me to sweat.
I'm starting to sweat just a little bit.
You're hot-natured. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for being here. If you're still here, be sure to like, comment, share, engage with us somehow. I don't care what you do. Just engage somehow, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.